Hello, this is Vance, and this is Tuesday, September the 30th, 2014. These are the CL trades for today using the slow hand method for price action. Well, today unwound, and what can I say? Price was at a high. I got the 1440 minute chart, daily chart up here, and we went from a high of 94.94 all the way down to 90.93. So we had a $4 drop, and that doesn't happen very often. I can't remember. I think it was in May of 2012. The last time we had a drop of that magnitude, it was $5 or something. I mean, it's not unheard of, but this is a pretty big drop. And as you can see, that decline really kind of unwound all that gain that we had over the last 4 or 5 sessions. So when you look at from last week, from the beginning of last week, where price had climbed to, and you can see where this resistance on this chart is, like right at that 94, almost the $95 mark, rejection right there. And all the way down to here. So now we're looking at a bottom, somewhere in the neighborhood of 91, like $91. I mean, it kind of touched down there. And so you can see that, I don't know what's going to happen tomorrow, but that's certainly what the case was today. So today was a day where you just had to, and the movements were pretty rapid. So let me talk about that a little bit. So let's go to the daily chart, or for the 800 tick chart. I moved it, I put the, as I was on here this morning, I was talking about that. Here was the open originally. Opening price, the current opening price was at 94.34 right here. I put these back on. I usually had just the current day value, or just the single day without. But I put these on because, as you can see, prices really started going lower, and so the low it broke through this low. And in the overnight, we had this area right here, and I was talking about this morning about where it would test, maybe come back, test the opening price, or maybe test the overnight low, and that's what I was looking for. And you can see that when price came down here, this is this morning at 7 o'clock. This is the second entry long right here, by the way. Price comes down in this area, pulls back, and here's your second entry long right here. Now, it's overlap. Would have gotten out your 15 ticks, but then it pulls back. Another second entry long right here, near the bottom of these, like near the opening. And I guess it was close enough, because you expect that maybe price is going to be testing this area or testing the overnight. And it did get up there. This is a second entry short. It kind of moved up here, but once it failed, it started to really go down. And once it tested, you see that there's hesitation around the daily low, and then it failed again. And price continued to unwind. And when it picked up momentum, you can see that once it broke through the daily, the overnight low, it really didn't stop. So anytime it pulled back to the EMA, we had some kind of rapid movements back here. And down here, I was thinking of going long right in this area, because I'm thinking that, because I don't really have this really established yet. This was a measured move. It was like pretty close to the bottom. So if you think a measured move within a move, down in this area, looking at down to here, or even down to here. So I thought this was really kind of like an exhaustion area, and it went into overlap. So if you look at a tight trading range, getting in low, this is a really, if you look at the chart here, that this is the trend channel down. It breaks the trend channel, breaks to a new low. We have this overlap, or this capitulation here, as far as going down is concerned, and it did pull back. But once it pulled back only to here, and then another second entry short. And once it got here, you can see these long tails. Price was rejected, came right back down, tested this area again. Another area, then this, of course, this is another second entry long right here. Breaks the trend channel, pulls back. It's on a doji, would have worked, but then another second entry short right here. Price makes new low, first entry, second entry, right near this, and then another failure. And so by the time this happens, I mean, all along here, like anytime price comes back to the EMA or comes back to the top of this trend channel, you have to look at, well, just getting short again. And that was really the answer for today. Here's a short. Any reason to get short? Here's a short. I mean, even like you limit down here, particularly when it comes up to this area. Now, this purple area I had marked here, this was very rapid. We had to sell off. It must have been some type of algorithm or something, because this was from 11:26 to 11:29. So 3 minutes. We dropped from 93.25 down to 92.57. So almost 75 ticks had happened in 3 minutes. So we're looking at 75 cents. So you see this big pullback here. Price goes into capitulation mode again. Another second entry short here. And this movement from here, 11.34 down to 11.35, this took like just over a minute. So again, real selling pressure down to this area. Pulls back. And then we look at here from this point. 11.44 down to here, 11.46, 2 minutes. So whatever was on there, there was like some triggers that were sent. The price really started to fall off. This jump, this jump, this jump. I mean, there's no way that you can really look at, even if there's signs. I mean, this is so rapid that there's one of two things. Either you get on the bandwagon and you sell, if that's what you feel like you're doing, or just step aside and just let it play itself out. And there's two schools of thought. If you really are not uncomfortable, it depends on where you are. I mean, once these shorts happen, you can see that your stop really had to be placed above these, and I think the limit orders were the way to go. And of course, limit orders are aggressive trades, so you want to limit in really here across the tops of these ranges, or really at the top. If you're going to limit in here, you probably want your stop above these ones, the most recent price action. And so that, by its definition, is going to be a limit order. If you didn't limit in and you didn't get filled, don't worry about the fear of missing out. Have FOMO, because it's going to just drop away from you. This happened. These two moves here, 11.27 to 11.29, 2 minutes. Right here, 11.34 to 11.35.30. So that's a minute and a half. All this happened so very rapidly. So we're talking about from the top, 93.26 down to here, 91.85. So we're looking at over 100 ticks that happened in just a few minutes. Again, this one here, another really rapid up. And once we had these three moves, I mean, this is rapid, 11.44 to 11.46, 2 minutes for price to drop like that. That's really strong selling pressure. So there's lots of contracts coming in here. So what do you need? Why do you need volume profile? You can see it right here. It's developing as we're going. It's just flying down here. You can't even see the footprint fast enough. But then we kind of spike and channel. Now, by this time, you sell at these tops, or like trade range. By this time, you really got to wait and see how this is transpiring, because all this stuff is slashing back and forth. Do you get into these trades? Well, I can tell you this. If you got on one of these trades here, you just kind of stuck with it. And so there was opportunity to get in here. You could have got in, but man, this is a real drop. This one's not bad. I mean, you can see there's measured move in here, but it's happening so quickly that you really have to be decisive. And unfortunately, it's probably not... anytime you're like that, it's really difficult to get on trades like this. So, again, this is one of those days, a very rare day where you drop. And once the momentum started, there's really nothing to do except just get on the bandwagon and just sell. I mean, that's really what you needed to do, especially at these key entry areas. Here's the trend channel here that I've got drawn in here. Price pulled back. Yeah, you could probably, I mean, there's second entry longs here. Here's a second entry long right here. Price makes a new high, first entry, second entry long, which we eventually did work out. But to trade counter trend at this level, I don't know. So by the time this happens, after these moves right here, by the time I would suggest, my suggestion is just whipsawing too much at this point, because it's one of those rare days. And what I mean by one of those rare days is most of the time the oil is really going to drop between $1.50 to $2.50. That's a pretty big movement. We dropped almost $5 today. I mean, from the top to the bottom, and that's really pretty big. I mean, we look at it from that perspective. We went from $94.90 down to $4. But a $4 move on oil, that's a pretty significant decline. On a percentage basis, it's over 5%. It's an over 5% move, or very close to a 5% move on oil. And, news-driven, algorithms, whatever it may be. That's kind of the key. Now, this stuff, by the time you get to this level, you just kind of, unless you're really confident in some of these things, looking for a turnaround, I don't know, like even if it's a good setup. Now, this is a pretty decent setup for a reversal right here when you look at it. First leg back down, second leg down right here. But, oh, man, I mean, given this really rapid down, you could blow through your stop like nothing. So even though this is a pretty good-looking setup right here, I mean, not really marking a counter trend. Another decent setup right down here. Price makes we have the first leg down, pull back, second leg down. It's a new low, and it would have worked out. But again, like across these tops, like if we have these tight trading ranges, I mean, yeah, it was tough for down here, and it did happen. It really respected this area. So once like as long as your stop is below these things, and I mean try to limit in like how far below, like especially this move, price makes a first pullback, second pullback. Now this is like 20 after 2, but look at if you got in here, as long as your stop is below here, this one worked out, and we're talking about a move here from 90.99 to that's over from $91. This 45 ticks up to here, the top of this range. So that's it. Spike in channel, but especially these ones here. This move from here. This is from 11.26 to 11.46. So 20 minutes we dropped 93.25 to 91. What do you do under a circumstance like that? From here down to here, like down to this area. This whole area right here, we're talking about 93.26 to 91.02, $2.26. But still, $2, from in a period of 20 minutes. That's a pretty big move. Most of the time, you're not going to get the whole day is not going to be that much. So you have to say that, we had some algorithms here just really selling off. Now, and that's pretty much it. So interesting to see what's going to happen tomorrow. I don't know. This is kind of strange. My thinking is that markets always oversell. Is this the beginning of a really big move down? That's what we have to consider. Here you have, this is where we are right now. Is it going to find support here and then head back in this other direction? That's what would be my thinking. Up to about the 92.90 area or 92.80 area. I think it oversold because you can even see that right now. Once price got past this from 11.40, it really went sideways to a large degree. We had these going back and filling up the space, at least pulling back some of this because it's certainly oversold. Whether or not price is going to hang down here or not, that's something to keep in mind. But who knows? So I hope that's well. It'd be interesting to see what's going to happen tomorrow. Maybe I'll try to put it on tomorrow. See if we can do that. Hey, actually, what I'll do. Anybody's listening to this? Send me your email before tomorrow morning. And first thing tomorrow morning, what I'll do is I'll go live. That's what we'll do for the opening. We'll go live at the opening. Anybody's listening to people on the YouTube channel, if you get a chance to hold, I know it's kind of short notice, but I'll send me your email. I'll send you a link, and I'll send you a GoToWebinar link. And so the first 100 people will be live tomorrow morning. That'll be October the 1st. Okay, so that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to kind of link up there. You send me your request. You send me your email, and I will send you a live link for tomorrow morning. I'll try to be on here about 8:30 or so. See how that transpires, and maybe have a little bit of a chat. Give you a setup for tomorrow. We'll just do that. So how does that sound? Maybe it'll be fun, interesting. So again, tomorrow morning, send me an email to jksv@shaw.ca. Just a second, I'll put it up here. There you go, jksv@shaw.ca. Send me a request, and I will send you the link. And we'll do a GoToWebinar. I'll send you a link to GoToWebinar so you can kind of sign in for tomorrow. I'll do it live, and we'll see what the opening happens. And do a brief live pre-market, let's call it. Okay? And so, like I said, just send me a link, and I'll do that tomorrow morning. So that's it for now. If you have any questions, please let me know. Bye for now.